me, sorry.
Okay, so Mr. Terwilliger and Mr. Hampton.
Yes, good morning.
The two of you were in a breakout room, and I pulled you back out. I wasn't sure if you were still communicating for a possible resolution or not.
No, ma'am. We did speak this time around. Unfortunately, we have not came to an agreement.
Yeah, like unfortunately,
Hold on. I have not called that on the record yet. Just one moment.
okay.
Can I come in? I was bringing him to.
All right, we are going on the record in the matter of Anthony Terwilliger versus Zachary Hampton, 2401907. And Mr. Terwilliger, your name for the record, please.
Anthony Terwilliger.
Mr. Hampton, your name for the record, please.
Zachary Hampton.
Okay, I feel like, weren't you just here a week or two ago?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
December 6th.
Right, I'm not sure, my notes aren't showing up in here, but, okay.
You gave us 2 weeks because I told you that I filed for the eviction like rent relief.
Just a moment, please raise your right hands. Do you both solemnly swear affirm the testimony you must give this man to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, and okay, so you were both here 2 weeks ago?
Yep, on the 6th.
The 6th, all right, and you were applying for assistance, sir?
I already did prior, and as soon as you brought me into that room with Mr. Terwilliger, I asked him if he like received any type of like contact from them, like the Department of Human Services, and he said no. I've tried to contact them. I've updated every piece of document that they asked me to, as in like the claim to quit, like the court date stuff for the first one. Even sent them the court date paperwork for this one.
Okay, Mr. Hampton, hold on. So I'm going to slow you down for a moment. Did you submit the documentation to this court?
No, I asked you if you wanted any of my case numbers.
No, pause. I told you that there is a court form that you needed to submit within 5 days.
Oh, no. I'm talking about sending the court papers you gave me to the Department of Human Services.
Pause. Can you please only answer my question? I don't need extra anecdotes right now.
Okay.
If you submit the document, the court form that I stated needed to be filed within 5 days from the last court date, indicating that you have requested rental assistance.
No.
Okay. I ask this cautiously, but I'm asking for a very slow response. I know I speak quickly, but I think you might have me beat. Why did you not file that response within the 5 days as required?
Yeah, I'm not sure if like it like crossed my mind because I filed for the eviction help prior to our first court date, so I didn't remember. So
Mr. Hampton, on December 6th, I told you what's required. And it's even in your packet of information that you receive with your rights as to whether or not if you're requesting assistance, that you need to file that form with the court.
Your Honor, may I intervene?
You may.
Thank you. My last payment that I got from Mr. Hampton was October 1st. His rent relief check is for the month of November, which I'm sure you're aware of that. We're in December and really working our way towards January. At the end of the day, I don't care about the money anymore. One of the situations that I brought to Zach's table was I just told him, like, buddy, like just leave. And like I don't care about the money. Like I care about getting somebody in there and getting my place rented out. That's the only thing I care about at the end of the day.
Hold on just a moment.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Terwilliger, Mr. Hampton.
yes, Your Honor.
If I recall correctly, this issue was discussed last time, and you stated that you needed to have a copy of the complaint that showed all the money that was due and owing, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so, you submitted that request. So, Mr. Terwilliger, how do you know that the amount is only for November?
I guess I do not know that in full, Your Honor. I only know for the month of November, ma'am.
Did you receive communication from the rental assistance organization at all?
I did not.
No, Mr. Terwilliger is my question, is who my question's directed to.
I have not gotten any formal documents, phone calls, or text messages. Emphasis on the word formal.
Emphasis on the word formal. I don't know why there's an emphasis on the word formal over anything.
I have not gotten provided professional documentation saying that he was getting rent relief. I never got a phone call from any professional individual stating that he was getting rent relief. I've never been given anything but words from him.
Okay, so you've only received communication from Mr. Hampton, not from any source that potentially would be assisting in rental assistance?
Correct, ma'am.
Not from the Michigan Department of Housing, not
Nothing.
from Wayne Metro, not from anything?
No, ma'am, nothing. I've even looked at my emails. I've checked my spam. Zach was telling me that he could just giving me numbers. He's like, "Oh, look up my case," and I'm like, I don't know how to do that. Am I just supposed to pump that stuff into Google? Like, I don't understand why he's just providing me numbers to look up his situation.
Oh, I mean, that is semi-accurate, but just like we talked about, I said that if you wanted any documents, I would print them out for you, and I haven't seen you, and you asked me for the case numbers after I offered them.
Pause. Stop. I am not going to listen to the back and forth in my courtroom.
Right.
I'm not taking up court time or anybody else's time for that.
Yes, ma'am.
At the end of the day, Mr. Hampton, you were told that you needed to submit the proper documentation, the court form, to the court within the 5 days for the financial assistance. You have not done so. So the court's going to proceed accordingly. If you receive that assistance in the interim and Mr. Terwilliger accepts it, then so be it. So the court's going to note that defendant did not submit
Your Honor.
form. What's that, Mr. Terwilliger?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll wait for you to finish. My apologies.
Go. You may proceed, sir.
Thank you. Again, I just want the individual evicted. He keeps telling me I have to accept this check, but
Mr. Terwilliger, I'm very clear that you want Mr. Hampton evicted. I am entering a judgment. I don't need additional commentary that tells me what you've already told me.
Understood.
Thank you. How much is owed, including court costs, Mr. Terwilliger?
As of this moment, it's probably about 2,600.
No, I don't need probably, I don't need about, I need exact numbers. I'm entering a judgment. I need exact numbers. You're asking for a judgment to enter so that Mr. Hampton can relocate. I need a number.
I do not know the court fees. I don't have that information in front of me, but the rent is 25.
Okay, then I will pass on this matter then. How about that? And you can get that together and then I will come back to this.
Okay, let me look for you. Let me see if I have the information.
Great idea. Okay. And so is that Miss Kinney?
Yes.
Okay, and then we are on the record in the matter of Christopher Adams and Stephanie Britton, 2402092. And Mr. Adams, your name for the record, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Christopher Adams. Can you hear me?
I can, thank you. And Ms. Britton, your name for the record, please.
Stephanie Britton. I can barely hear you guys though.
Ms. Britton, your name for the record.
Stephanie Britton.
Okay. And the two of you, the court had the two of you in a breakout room so that you can discuss whether or not there's a resolution in this matter. And were the two of you able to have that conversation?
I wasn't aware that we were supposed to have a conversation.
So the two of you have been sitting in a breakout room staring at each other for the last hour or so?
I thought we were just in a waiting room waiting for court.
Okay. Is there
Nobody said anything about us supposedly needing to discuss things.
Mr.
Your Honor,
Adams?
sorry.
Go ahead, sir.
This issue has been existing for quite some time. We have had multiple discussions outside of the courtroom in the past with multiple different promises to leave and hand over keys at multiple different times.
Hold on. First of all, I'm not sure what issue you're talking about, sir. Second of all, I'm going to have you both please raise your right hands. Do you solemnly swear or affirm?
That's what I affirm.
Ms. Britton, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you must give this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, Mr. Adams?
I do.
Ms. Britton?
Yes.
Okay. Can you hand me my coffee? My coffee, please. Okay, so, Mr. Adams, you, you, sir, own the property, correct?
That is correct.
All right. And is there some other relationship between the two of you other than landlord and tenant?
No, there is none.
Okay. Do the two of you reside at different properties?
Yes, we do.
Okay. And how long has Ms. Britton been residing in the property?
I have owned the property since August. She had resided there for a couple of months before that.
Okay. So you purchased the home, Mr. Adam. It's a home, correct?
Yes, it is a home with multiple bedrooms in it.
So you purchased the home August of 24.
Correct.
Okay. And Ms. Britton, how long has it been since you have resided at the home?
I had just moved in here at the end of July.
Okay. And so, Mr. Adams, when you purchased the home, had it been listed for sale, or was it, did you just happen to know somebody was selling it, or how'd that go?
It had been listed for sale. I purchased this house and I also purchased the house next to it.
Okay. And so, Ms. Britton, you were aware that the home was for sale, correct?
Yeah, a short while after I moved in here.
Yes or no? Yes or no? You were aware that the home was for sale, correct?
I'm not sure if I knew it was for sale. I knew when they said it was sold. They said there was a new owner, but I'm not sure I ever knew it was for sale.
When you moved in July of 2024, at any point did the prior owner give you any information that they were looking to sell the property?
No.
Okay. And so, what is the monthly rental amount?
500.
Monthly rental is $525.
$525. Is there a written lease to that effect?
Yes, there is.
My lease says 500.
Ma'am, is your lease with Mr. Adams or with the prior owner?
The new owner, Mr. Adams, has never attempted to make any new lease.
Ma'am, please answer my question. Is your lease with the current owner or the previous owner?
The only lease that I have had since I have been here is with the previous owner.
Okay, so the answer to my question is the previous owner, correct?
Correct.
Okay, Mr. Adams, did you at any point think that, did you at any point provide Miss Britton with a new lease?
No, I have not provided her with a new lease in the purchase agreement.
No,
All
I don't know any of the reasons. I'm just right now wanting the answers to the questions.
Sorry.
So please, both of you, when I ask a question, just give me the simple answer.
Okay.
Not additional reasons why or anything of that nature. So, sir, when you purchased the home, did you purchase the home with what understanding of the current tenants?
I purchased the home with the understanding that all current tenants' leases were transferred. So the current tenants' leases were transferred to me.
Okay? And so when did you provide notice to Ms. Britton that the lease, the monthly rent was going up to $525?
The current lease with the current owner, or the previous owner, was $525.
Sir, do you have a copy of that lease?
Yes, I do. It should have been submitted with the paperwork.
All right, let me see here. All right. So we house Salim, is that the previous owner, sir?
Yes, that is correct.
All right, so I am looking at a copy of the lease that shows $525 dated July 23rd. Ma'am, what copy do you have? Did you submit a copy to show something different?
Are you asking me?
Yes, ma'am.
I would have to grab my lease out and look at it. I don't have it handy with me right now.
Go grab it.
I honestly don't know where it's at right now. It's packed away.
All right, well, the court's going to note the $525 amount because that's what it has submitted in the documentation that was submitted by Mr. Adams, and there hasn't been any written response or other written documentation submitted by Ms. Britton. So we're on with the $525 per month. Sir,
Yes.
how is the rent supposed to be paid?
The rent is supposed to be paid by cash or check or money order to my manager. His name is Silas. He is the one who filed the paperwork.
Okay. And do you retain a ledger?
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Do you retain a ledger of payments?
Yes, I do. It's an electronic Excel file.
Okay. So you purchased a home August of 2024. So September 1st rent should have been paid to you or Silas. October, November, and December. That's 4 months. How much are you requesting? How much are you stating has been unpaid, sir?
I have not received any rent for September, October, November, or December.
Okay.
Nor have I received any late notices.
Excuse me. Please don't interrupt, Ms. Britton. So, Mr. Adams, you're stating that $2,625 is now due and owing. Okay, where's the additional money coming from? Because $525 at 4 months, isn't that $2,100?
Yes, the rent for August, part of the agreement was that I would receive the rent for August, and she had not paid rent for August either.
Okay, sir, when did you acquire the property? What date?
August 20th.
August 20th. Okay, well, I'm going to order that is not a dispute for today because the prior owner owned the home on August 1st. Any agreement between you and the prior owner regarding the any, abatement or any, prorated rental amount for 11 days in August is between you and the prior owner. I'm not, attributing that to Ms. Britton.
That's acceptable.
Well, good.
Thank you.
I'm glad that it is. All right, you're welcome.
Thank you. Yes, I understand.
And so, $2,100 in unpaid rent. Are there any late fees per the lease?
Per the lease, a late charge of $25 will be assessed on the 6th day of the month.
Okay, so there are 4 months of late fees. So that brings us to $2,200. And what were the court costs?
I believe the late fees are more than that.
I'm not to you yet. I'm not to you yet. Please stop interrupting. Just one moment. Sir, what are the court costs?
Sorry, I didn't catch that last question.
The court costs.
The court costs are, I do not have that exact amount. It was the like $65 or whatever to file, but I do not have a record of that at the moment. I apologize.
Okay, what was the cost for service, sir?
What was what?
What was the cost of service?
The payment for the filing.
I'm sorry, what's that?
What was that?
What was the cost of the service of the complaint, sir?
What do you mean the service?
Well, you paid somebody to serve.
Oh, for them to be served. I'm sorry, I didn't understand. That is part of my manager's duties, so it falls under overhead. So I don't have an exact number for that.
Okay, well, I'm showing that there was $31.50 paid because Court Officer Randy Miller perfected personal service on Ms. Britton.
Who did that?
The court officer, Randy Miller, he's a court officer for service of process.
Yes, that would be part of the cost that my manager had said equated to approximately the $65. So that would be part of that.
Okay.
I apologize for not having the specific details on that.
So it was $65 filing fee plus the $31.50 for the service fee, for a total of $96.50 for court costs.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Ms. Britton, have you made any payments for rent?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And have you had any communication with Mr. Adams?
Yes, I have been in contact with him several times.
Okay, so the answer is yes. And so at any point did you and Mr. Adams agree on an a different day to make the rental payment?
Well, I asked him if it would be okay if I...
Yes or no, please.
What was the question again?
Did you and Mr. Adams have a conversation that adjusted the date that rent would be due?
No.
And so, ma'am, are you employed?
No, I'm currently unemployed.
Okay, and how long have you been unemployed?
I have been unemployed for several months now. I suffer from severe PTSD.
And so are you receiving disability payments?
No, ma'am. I have applied once and was unfortunately and coincidentally denied.
Okay. And so, ma'am, do you believe you owe $2,100 in unpaid rent?
Well, I definitely know that on the lease, the original lease that I was given, there's an incorrect address typed on there, which makes the lease null and void.
Now, do you believe or do you agree that you owe $2,100 in unpaid rent? Yes
I
or
am
no?
not agreeing to that. I can tell you that there is a mistyped address on the original lease.
Miss, please, I've asked yes or no to be the answer. So you stated the roundabout way, no. So do you believe that you owe money for late fees?
Well, they're
Yes
saying
or no?
that I owe money for rent and that I owe money for late fees.
Do you believe you owe money for late fees, yes or no?
No, based upon the fact that the original lease is null and void due to the incorrect address.
I'm not asking for extra commentary. I asked strictly for yes or no answers, please.
Okay.
So, you don't live at 18336?
Correct.
You don't. Yet, you were personally served there, were you not?
Yes, I was.
But you don't live there.
No, I said yes, I do live there.
No, you said no, you don't. So, are you not in room 5?
Room number 5, apartment number 5, whatever they want to call it.
Okay, so tell me what's incorrect on the address then that you stated, it should be a reason why the lease should be null and void.
The original lease has an incorrect address on it.
I don't know what you're talking about, ma'am. The lease
At the very top of the at the very top of the very first page of the original lease, the address is typed as 183336.
Ma'am, I will tell you right now that if that's what you're hanging your hat on, as to this lease being null and void, I'd grab that hat real quick before it gets lost, because just because there's one additional 3 in the title of the lease does not mean that negates the lease. The address for the lease within the body of the lease itself is correct. So, you have not paid rent for September, correct? Did you pay rent for September?
Correct. I have no way to pay rent because I have no income. I suffer from severe PTSD, and I have no income, so I don't know how I'm supposed to survive.
Miss Britton, while I can understand and empathize with your situation, your lack of employment is not Mr. Adams' responsibility.
I have tried to ask him about going to social services to get help to pay the rent. He said he didn't want to do that. He wanted me to just leave.
Ma'am, well, you don't need Mr. Adams to go with you to apply for rental assistance. Have you applied for any rental assistance?
I've never even received a late notice, ma'am. The only thing I have ever received is a handwritten, unsigned by a judge 7-day notice. That's the only thing I've ever received before
The 7-day notice doesn't get signed by the judge. And I will also say, ma'am, you knew that your rent was due on the 1st of September, the 1st of October, the 1st of November, and the 1st of December, correct?
It was supposed to be, yes.
You know that that's when it's due. You also know that after the 6th of December, or the 6th of the month, a $25 late fee gets assessed, correct?
Oh, they charge more of a late fee than that. They charge $25 plus an additional amount every single day that it's late after that throughout the rest of the month.
Okay, well, the court is not entertaining that. The court's ordering $25 per month because the way that the lease is worded, with $25 on the 6th day and $5 per day thereafter until paid in full, and does not have a maximum amount of a late fee, the court finds that's an unreasonable late fee. The court's going to stick with the $25 late fee. So, sir, you really should take a look at that because that will not be enforced in this court, I can tell you that. So, ma'am,
there's also problems here with bed bugs and all kinds of things.
I'm talking right now and you continue to interrupt me.
I'm sorry, I'm having a really hard time hearing it. That's why I'm doing that.
Okay, so, ma'am, as I was saying, you have not paid rent for 4 months. You have late fees for 4 months, and then there's a filing fee. And what was it that you were starting to say?
I just wanted to bring up the issue that this house is actually sort of being ran like a group home. And there are people here that have had medical issues going on, medications that are not being monitored, people here that are not showering. You know, there's bed bugs in here, and none of this has been addressed.
Ms. Britton, if you have concerns with how things are being run over there or how that is, then you need to contact the appropriate authority. I am not that person. So if, and it sounds as though it's not a great place to live anyway, so then you won't have any problem with the court's order that the court finds after hearing that, the plaintiff is entitled to recover possession of the property. The amount not due and owing for unpaid rent and other costs is $296.50. If that amount is not paid or defense not about on or before December 30th, plaintiff can apply for an order evicting the defendant. Additional money may be owed if damage to property occurs or rent continues to accrue. Partial payment will not prevent the court from issuing an order evicting the defendant. And no money judgment will enter at this time. Ma'am, if you think the court got it wrong, you certainly have 3 days, or you certainly have the right to file an appeal. And the court will sign this and you will each receive a copy of this. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you very much.
All right, we are off the record. You're all set. Have a good day.
Thank you very much. You as well.
Okay, and so, Mr. Terwilliger, we are going to recall your matter. This is the recalling the matter of Anthony Terwilliger versus Zachary Hampton, 2401907. And Mr. Terwilliger, did you determine what that amount was that's owed?
Yes, ma'am. Welcome back. With the late fees, it was $2,500. With the court fees, it was $133 for a total of $2,633.
Okay, what's the monthly rent, sir?
$1,200.
And what's the late fee?
$50.
And that's for November and December, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Hampton, do you have any reason to dispute that that's the amount that's owed?
No, I don't.
Okay, then the court is going to enter a judgment. The court's going to enter a judgment based upon defendant's non-payment and not submitting DC 539 form as instructed last time. As Mr. Hampton stated that he was requesting rental assistance and as required and provided the information to Mr. Hampton. That information was provided in that packet of information and that was not done by Mr. Hampton. So the amount now due and owing for unpaid rent and other costs is $2,633. If that amount is not paid or defendant is not about on or before December 30th, plaintiff may apply for an order evicting the defendant. Additional money may be owed if damage of property occurs or rent continues to accrue. Partial payment will not prevent the court from issuing an order evicting the defendant. And let me just see if there's and no money judgment will enter at this time. Any questions?
Yes, ma'am. It does go a little quick. What was the December 30th date for?
If that amount is not paid or the defendant does not move out, then the plaintiff may apply for an order evicting the defendant.
Okay, so he has to, so what I'm gathering, he's got to pay me by December 30th?
If he does not pay, then the plaintiff may apply for an order to evict the defendant.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any other questions?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to
no,
interrupt.
go ahead.
I just wanted to ask about that paper you said I had to do like 5 days or whatever. Is that in the information where it says you can ask the court to move the case by filing a request motion in writing before the court date listed on the summons, or ask the court in person at the first court hearing? I'm not trying to argue or create like a riff or nothing. Is that what you were speaking on, Judge? Because on the 6th, that was our first court hearing, and I did ask, and that's why it got moved today. So I just want to know for
Sir, and there's also in the rights, in that paperwork, it also tells you that if you are requesting assistance, that you have to submit that paperwork within 5 days.
Alrighty. All right. I must have like missed it on the paper. I was going through it while we were waiting. I just wanted to clarify that.
And sir, let me just say this, that even, let me just see here. So there is information that you received as well. And I also informed you, sir, that you had 5 days to file that document in writing. I told you that as well when you were here last.
Right. I'm not arguing that. I'm just trying to see maybe where I went wrong. Maybe I got confused with, I thought that's what I had to do if I didn't already apply or something. I was just reading while we were waiting. I just wanted to clarify so I would know. So thank you.
And sir, let me just clarify as well.
Yes, ma'am.
That this court did grant the request to move, so we set this out 2 more weeks.
Right.
Let me just say this as well. If you are requesting rental assistance, you are required to submit written proof to the court within 5 days. And I will tell you, just one moment.
If I may speak, I just wanted to say, I did read that, like something similar in the jury trial.
Sir,
I'm sorry.
just a moment, sir. I'm just trying to find the court rule because it's been amended, and there is the requirement that you have 5 days to file proof of your request with the court. And I informed you of that when you were here last, sir.
No, I'm not arguing that. I was just reading over my packet, and I didn't see that in there, and I was just trying to right my wrong and see where I went wrong. I wasn't arguing that. I was just clarifying.
Well, where you went wrong, sir, is that you didn't follow the court's order when I stated that you needed to submit it within 5 days. I didn't give you the court rule, but I will tell you that it is the court rule. It was amended. And the number of the court rule is escaping me at this point. because I'm even reading the document here that states that you're required to submit written proof to the court within 5 days. It's not, apparently it isn't on your document for some reason. And I don't know why. And I'll have to look into that. And I can tell you that, sir, that is the court rule, and that is why I stated that you needed to submit that information within 5 days.
Your Honor, may I add?
Yes, Mr. Terwilliger.
Thank you, I appreciate it. This is the, I hate to say it, but continuous game that I feel like I've been playing with this individual. If he's been here, if he was here for a year.
Mr. Terwilliger.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Terwilliger, I understand that you really want to be heard, but I've already granted a judgment, so nothing, it's not changing my mind. I was just trying to answer the question for Mr. Hampton.
That's fine. I understand. It's just chasing this payment down. I don't think is fair, but I understand.
Sir, chasing it down, that's part of the business of being a landlord. There's nothing I can say about that. I can't give you legal advice as to this.
I understand. I'm learning a lot today, so thank you.
You are welcome. Anything else?
Yeah, I guess just to go back over it really quick, just to reiterate, December 30th of the payment that you stated. If he doesn't have that information or the money, do I come back up to the courts, refile again, and go through this whole process again, ma'am?
Sir, I can't tell you what to do.
Okay.
Okay? I
Okay.
can't give you legal advice as to your next steps.
Okay, I'll go up there. I'll figure it out. Thank you.
And sir, just so you know, my court clerk can't give you legal advice either. So.
No, I'm not asking for legal advice, ma'am. I'm just asking, like, if he doesn't pay me again, do I come back up there and refile?
Well, sir, if I tell you the answer, I'm giving you legal advice.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's considered legal advice by the State Court Administrative Office. Michigan Supreme Court has stated that's legal advice, okay?
Yes, ma'am. And then this is just my last question. I don't know if this is legal advice, but since I didn't do that, like the 5-day thing, with me already applying for that eviction relief, is that kind of null and void even? Because for some reason they haven't reached out to me to reorient me within the 2 weeks.
I cannot give legal advice. You should both seek legal. You should both seek legal counsel if you have additional questions.
Yes,
I've ruled in this matter. I've answered your questions that I'm able to answer. I cannot give you both any further information because it'd be considered legal advice. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you. Good luck to you both. Have a good holiday.
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you.